Hi, I'm Jo Saul. I'm a research fellow at UCL in the Department of Language and Cognition. And my poster is called Elucidating Mechanisms of Language Growth in Minimally Verbal Individuals. I'm funded by the Royal Society, and the overall project is called ISLAND. That stands for Investigating Spoken Language in Neurodevelopmental Conditions. And this is a research plan poster, so it's about a study that hasn't happened yet. My research interest is in those who have a neurodevelopmental condition and remain minimally verbal. That is, they don't acquire the ability to use phrase speech throughout their lives. And I'm aiming to understand trajectories of spoken language in this group and look at what predicts progress with spoken language. We know that lots of different skill domains predict language in general, so things like joint attention, social motivation, imitation skills. But in this particular group, there's emerging evidence that speech motor skills may play an additional role for some individuals, and better understanding this relationship is the aim of my research. So the study involves tracking the communicative progress of 150 children of primary school age who are all minimally verbal at time 1 in the study, and tracking them over a period of 3 years. So this diagram here, illustrates the 4 waves of data collection, which are each separated by 1 year. And at time 1, I'll rely on experimenter child assessments that are carried out in homes and schools. And thereafter, I'm going to get caregivers to facilitate remote data collection using naturalistic videos to collect language samples. And I'll be measuring skills in different domains at the start of the study, and I'll relate those initial predictors to change over time. And this diagram here, see if I can zoom in again. Oops. This diagram here illustrates the kind of latent constructs that I'm interested in measuring, and I'll be drawing on parent report measures of it and observed measures of it as well. And this study is going to be more inclusive than this type of cohort design usually is. So minimally verbal children can participate regardless of their primary diagnosis and any co-occurring conditions that they may have, and any languages that are spoken in the home or any levels of multilingualism. One thing that's key is that they are minimally verbal at the start of the study, and there are many different ways of measuring this, but essentially it's about do they only use a limited number or no spoken words, and are they unable to combine words flexibly into communicative phrases? And when it comes to analysing the data, in an ideal world, I'll use a latent variable approach, combining multiple measures of the same construct for both the dependent variable in predictors. And this is because it tends to be noisy data where the child responses can really vary dramatically based on lots of external factors from one day to the next. However, the sample size and the data characteristics may not support this approach, in which case I will use multi-level models to analyse the predictive relationships.